Leather-wrapped steering wheel, lane departure warning, automatic emergency braking, 190 miles of range, $7,800, not the monthly payment. The entire car, over 1 million sold, BYD profits on every unit, and a veteran Detroit teardown engineer called the build quality cleaner than anything coming out of America. Here are the 5 decisions that make this possible. The first decision is the one that changes everything else. Build the battery yourself. The battery is the most expensive component in any electric vehicle, accounting for 35 to 40% of the total vehicle cost. When Volkswagen builds an ID.3, they buy cells from CATL or LG Energy Solution. When Tesla builds a Model 3 in Shanghai, they still source a significant portion externally. Every external purchase adds margin, logistics cost, and negotiation layers. BYD does not buy batteries from anyone. They started as a battery company in 1995, 8 years before they built their first car. Their subsidiary FinDreams Battery designs, engineers, and mass produces every cell that goes into every BYD vehicle. The Seagull uses a lithium iron phosphate blade battery with a capacity of 30 kilowatt hours in the top trim. BYD mines the lithium. BYD processes the cathode material. BYD manufactures the cells. BYD assembles the pack. BYD installs it in the car. No middleman at any stage. Industry analysis by UBS estimated that this vertical battery integration alone saves approximately 15% per vehicle compared to Tesla's Shanghai production costs. On an $8,000 car, that 15% is the difference between a viable product and an impossible one. But controlling the battery is only the beginning, because there is another component that nearly destroyed the entire global auto industry, and BYD barely noticed. During the chip shortage of 2021 and 2022, Toyota shut down 14 factories. General Motors halted production across North America. Ford lost over $3.2 billion in revenue because they could not source enough semiconductors. BYD kept building. While the rest of the industry scrambled for allocation from TSMC and Samsung, BYD's semiconductor division was manufacturing its own chips. BYD Semiconductor produces the power electronics that control motor speed, battery charging, and energy distribution. Most automakers buy these components from Infineon or ST Microelectronics at a significant markup. BYD makes them in-house. Their semiconductor division has grown so large that it now supplies over 40% of its chip production to external customers, meaning BYD is not just self-sufficient. They are a chip supplier to their own competitors. The Seagull uses power management chips designed by BYD throughout the entire electrical system. No external silicon, no supply chain vulnerability, no markup. Controlling batteries and chips gives BYD an enormous cost advantage, but the way they organize their factories turns that advantage into something no competitor can replicate. Walk into a BYD mega factory in Xi'an or Shenzhen, and you will see something that does not exist at any Toyota, Tesla, or Volkswagen facility. Everything is made under one roof, not just final assembly, everything. Battery cells in one wing, electric motors wound and assembled in another, power electronics fabricated down the hall, body panels stamped, welded, and painted in the main building, seats, dashboards, wiring harnesses, control modules, all produced internally. BYD manufactures approximately 75% of the Seagull's components in-house. Tesla's Shanghai Model 3 is estimated at 46%. The typical Western automaker sits around 30 to 40%. Consolidation eliminates costs at every level. No shipping between a battery factory in South Korea and an assembly plant in Germany. No contract negotiations with Tier 1 suppliers. No margin stacked on margin, stacked on margin. When BYD wants to change a component, they walk down the hall and talk to the engineer who designed it. When Toyota wants the same change, they initiate a formal request with an external supplier, negotiate costs, wait for tooling modifications, and schedule validation that can take 6 to 18 months. BYD's Xi'an facility operates at 97% automation, using AI-powered robotics and digital twin simulation. Their quality control system analyzes real-time sensor data from the production line, reducing battery defects by 40% and improving average battery lifespan by 20%. So, BYD controls the battery, the chips, and the factory. But there is a fourth decision that sounds almost too simple to matter, until you multiply it by 1 million cars. Engineer for fewer parts. Every component in a car costs money twice, once to manufacture and again to install. The Seagull uses a single mono wiper for the entire windshield. One wiper arm, one motor, one blade. That eliminates the second arm, the linkage mechanism, the associated wiring, and 30 seconds of assembly time. Total savings per vehicle, roughly $8 to $12. Multiplied by 1 million units, and that is $8 to $12 million saved on one component. BYD applies this philosophy across the entire vehicle. The Seagull uses an 8-in-1 electric powertrain that integrates the motor, motor controller reducer, onboard charger, direct current to direct current converter, battery management system, power distribution unit, and vehicle control unit into a single compact assembly. Traditionally, these are 8 separate components from up to 6 different suppliers, each with their own housing, connectors, wiring, and mounting hardware. BYD combines them into one unit that is lighter, smaller, and dramatically cheaper to produce. Fewer cables means fewer connection points. Fewer connection points means less energy loss. Less energy loss means more range from the same battery. The result is efficiency of 12.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, a figure that rivals vehicles costing 4 to 5 times as much. Each eliminated part also eliminates a potential failure point. Fewer things that can break means lower warranty costs and higher reliability. BYD is not making a cheap car. They are making a simpler car. And simplicity at this level of execution looks like magic. If you have made it this far, then consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. This helps us bring you more honest automotive analysis that you will not find anywhere else. 4 decisions down. Each one shaves cost. But the 5th decision is what makes the math truly devastating for every competitor on Earth. Scale. In December of 2024, BYD produced over 500,000 vehicles in a single month. That is more than Volkswagen's entire global electric vehicle output for the first quarter of that year. Annual production exceeded 4.27 million new energy vehicles. That volume creates compounding advantages at every level of the business. Per unit raw material costs drop, because BYD buys lithium, steel, aluminum, copper, and rare earth elements in quantities that give them direct mine to factory pricing. Per unit tooling costs drop because stamping dies are amortized across millions of parts instead of hundreds of thousands. Per unit research and development costs drop because the same E-Platform 3.0 architecture underpins the Seagull, the Dolphin, the Seal, and several other models. The engineering investment was made once and deployed across a lineup selling millions of units collectively. In the first quarter of 2025, BYD reported nearly 1 million vehicle sales, a 60% increase year over year. Their margins continue improving as volume increases. Now let us put all 5 decisions side by side and see what they produce when they work together. A BYD Seagull costs $7,800 and includes a battery with a cycle life of over 3,000 cycles, lane departure warning, automatic emergency braking, a 10-inch touchscreen, and 190 miles of real-world range. A Nissan Leaf starts at $28,400 with less range. A Tesla Model 3 starts at approximately $38,000. The Seagull is not competing with those vehicles on specifications. It is embarrassing them, and the gap is widening. While Western automakers debate which supplier should provide their next-generation battery cells, BYD is already shipping the second-generation Blade battery with flash charging capability and a cycle life that translates to over 1 million kilometers before meaningful degradation. Here is what all of this comes down to. BYD does not make cheap cars. BYD makes cars cheaply. There is an enormous difference. Cheap means low quality, cut corners, disposable engineering. Making cars cheaply means eliminating every unnecessary cost through vertical integration, component reduction, intelligent design, and relentless scale. It means a battery company that learned to build cars, not a car company that learned to buy batteries. It means one wiper instead of two when one does the job. It means 8 components merged into one when 8 were never necessary. That is why every major Western automaker has sent engineering teams to Shenzhen in the last 18 months. That is why Toyota adopted BYD's Blade battery for their own vehicles. That is why Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway invested in BYD back in 2008 and has held that position ever since. They saw this coming, and now it is here. If you found this video valuable, make sure to watch this next one. In it, we reveal 5 hidden Chinese car features that are making Toyota and Tesla look outdated, including a technology that turns your car into a mobile power station.